Hey everyone, Rob from Southgate Media Group here. Before we get started with this podcast, we have a quick message. If this is your first time checking out the show, we love that you found us and we really hope you enjoy it. What we have to say is for the subscribers. If you enjoy our shows, would you please donate to help keep these going? We don't want to have to put traditional ads on these shows, but this does cost money. So we really do rely heavily on donations. To make a donation to the show, please go to our website, www.southgatemediagroup.com. Go to the page for the show, and in the upper right-hand corner is a donate button. It takes you right to PayPal, and you can donate whatever amount you want. Thanks a lot for listening, everybody. And now, on with the show.
Hey Flash family, welcome back to the Flashpoint, a Southgate Media Group podcast dedicated to all things the Flash related over on the CW. I am Lilith, and joining me as always is the other half of Firestorm, Kelly. Up for discussion today is episode 205. I have a very, very burning situation that I want to talk about. So we're just going to jump right into it. Well, I think where they got in trouble with Jay Garrick is the fact that he too has only been the Flash the same amount of time as Barry.
And he probably didn't have all the support as Barry.
Exactly. So I don't even think he has a lady love or anything to ground him either, because, I mean, he's in no rush to get back to Earth 2, as we've seen.
So he's kind of like almost like Barry in the first Flash, except even that Barry had
Julio and Tina, yeah. And the occasional nosy reporter.
Right, yeah, but you know what I'm saying. He didn't have, 5 people and brilliant scientists and this, that, and yeah. I mean, you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, absolutely. So I don't know, like, I just was hoping this would be more of a team up and a mentor situation than just kind of, oh, hey, he's here. And even when in like we go an episode without seeing him and nobody even like references the fact that he is not there.
Yeah, I mean, okay, and we are terribly lacking in the mentorship at this point.
Well, yeah. Yes and no. While Star Lab seems very full of people at the moment, there is a lack of like leadership and elder statesmen, if you will, and it just gets more noticeable when they don't give Jesse Martin anything to do than hand Iris a gun, which was awesome. I will not lie. But yes. I think that's where the show kind of like falters a little bit when
we're missing somebody looking out for Barry.
Exactly. There's too many fingers in the pie, and they're all hungry.
Yes. They all have an agenda at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Even though, I mean, sadly, for example, Caitlin and Cisco, they love Barry. They're friends with Barry, but they're emotional human beings. They do still have an agenda.
Mm-hmm.
And so this could be very bad for Barry, depending on who he goes up against. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, Dr. Wells of Earth 2 has kind of convinced Barry to trust him tentatively, as it were, but which is looking like it's a bad idea. But for Dr. Wells, it's a win-win situation. Either Zoom kills him and gives him his daughter back, or Barry kills Zoom and he gets his daughter back.
Right.
So he really honestly doesn't actually have a horse in the race. He's just taking the money for the bets.
Well, I think he'd rather have Barry win.
I would hope he's rooting for Barry. It's interesting that he created the metahumans as well, and he hid it, and Jay seems to be the only person that actually like knows it and believes it.
Right. Now, okay, CW missed another huge marketing possibility here.
Oh God, what was it this time?
Where is the smartwatch app to notify you of metahumans? I really want that from my Moto 360. Thank you very much. I mean, hello, perfect tie-in. That would have
You need to call CWPR department and you need to get a job with them because that is sheer brilliance.
it would have been. I mean, because they could put it out for all the different smartwatches. It wouldn't take anything to make that. I mean, my goodness, if I can make a watch face in about 10 minutes, how hard would it be for an egghead programmer to, make it? It would be fun if it would go off when you ran into somebody with a Bluetooth signal or Wi-Fi network. That would be really fun, actually.
You should do that yourself, Kelly.
I totally
You and Russ
should.
I trust that you and Russ can get that together between the two of you.
Yeah, well, I am definitely the more technical of the two of us, but yeah, we'll find a way to try to make something work because that
Couple
could be
project.
that could be so much fun. Oh my goodness.
Oh,
And
speaking of that though, Cisco he got outed. Dr. Wells had the nerve to out him. I wanted Cisco to sit Caitlin and Barry down and tell him himself, Dr. Wells robbed me of that.
yes, well, in a way, I'm glad because that means maybe Cisco won't die for
Again.
secrets, superhero secrets. They have a tendency to do that, but yeah, that really stunk because Cisco, how should I put this? I think he was coming around, that Dr. Stein had kind of gotten to him, and I think that would have been a really cool moment to see, but I think he's afraid.
Yeah.
He's very, very much afraid of what that means, and the way that Wells thrust that upon him was not very nice. Yeah. Needed, but not very nice.
Definitely. God, Caitlin really didn't have much to do but do that stakeout with Jay. So that was a cute stakeout.
And get knocked out. And get knocked out.
Oh, and I guess I should talk about Cisco. God, he was so adorable this episode, right?
Adorkable.
Yes, adorkable. Exactly. Nail on the head.
Yes.
And he asked the little barista out, and then she was like, no. And then she's like, you know what? Ask me again. And I'm like, I wouldn't have said no in the first place.
That's right.
Technically, we saw her at the end of last season, so you're not really new in town if you've been there for 6+ months. I'm just saying.
Well, kinda. If you don't know, if you move to a new community and don't know anybody, it takes a good month or two just to know how to get around and what's out there. And so, yeah, I could see that. Who
the hell is moving to Central City with all the metahuman outbreaks? Like, that is a bad life choice, okay? That's like moving to Star City at this point. You get what you get. You deserve it. You right.
Well, we had our own metahuman here in Central City over the summer, so
yes, Justin Bieber doesn't have nuclear ray vision or anything like that I know of. Just obnoxious personality.
and that hair, whoa.
Yeah,
you just done the whole blonde thing.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, that's what I'm saying. So I'm just like, I don't know. There's something shady about that whole situation. But obviously, it was just, hey, yeah, we got to get a move on. Our crossover is episode 8. This is episode 5. Here's Hot Girl.
Yes, but I loved his keyboard T-shirt.
Really? I say they need to step up the T-shirt game. It's been lacking this season.
Well, it has, but the keyboard T-shirt was kind of cute.
I want blue screen of death. Next, if we're doing that. If we're doing that, then get the blue screen of death.
Blue screen of death would be good. We need a left shark one. Seeing with the shark monster, we
my
need a
God.
left shark.
I was having a brain fart last week. I kept calling him Land Shark, and it was freaking King Shark, which, by the way, awesome score for Patty. Got her right in there with Cisco. But again, Cisco didn't get to name a villain. I'm just like, dang it. Stop spreading the love around. That is his job.
That's right. he should have been Left Shark.
Oh, speaking of Cisco creeping and peeping,
Uh-oh.
the Barry gets blinded by Dr. Light, who is they call the people that from Earth 2 breachers, which I'm like, really?
So if they have a religious one, would that be a preacher breacher?
It's so funny because there is a DC show named Preacher coming out next year. So anyway,
I think Constantine needs to come through the breach.
no, he needs to just pop on over from Star City. That's all he has to do now. True. Maybe his train gets derailed.
There you go. That would be awesome.
That would be awesome. Or, you know, hey, take a little whirl in the Wave Rider, aka the TARDIS for DC Legends of Tomorrow.
Because heaven knows, Wells needs a soul.
Ooh, bird!
Ouch.
Bird! There's that theory of Firestorm.
There you go. There you go.
What else can we talk? I guess I'm just gonna talk about it. Well, no, Iris. I guess we'll talk about Iris. Iris was everything to me this episode.
She was awesome. She
was protective. She was loyal. She was fierce. She handled her business. Oh my God! And they praised Iris. They recognized her for it. And I love it. They are not making the Laurel Lance mistake.
Yes, and she knows how to hold a gun.
Well, her father is a cop. I would have been disappointed had she not.
That's true, but you know, a lot of people who are in law enforcement do not want their family handling a gun, which I think is crazy. But you know, so glad she does.
Yeah, exactly. And even if he hadn't taught her, Iris seems like the type that she would have done it anyway. Especially after that one episode where she has to jump out the window because people were shooting at her.
That's true. That's true.
If that didn't coax her to, you know, learn some self-defense of any kind, nothing would.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Oh, now I have a question. If we knew what our person did, you know, that she has this whole light thing going on, would you not give Barry a pair of, you know, nuclear shades or whatever?
You know, Fools Rush Right In was kind of the theme of this. Right? Because he goes, oh yeah, I guess I should have asked about that. And Cisco did have a bit of a big mouth by, you know, leaking that Barry time travel not once, but twice.
Yes.
Yeah. At least he knows how to make a speed mirage on purpose this time, though.
Yes. Yeah, and that's the good thing.
Yeah, definitely. But yeah, I think that was something that should have been kept closer to the vest.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So yeah, Barry and Patty were adorable. The date was also one of my highlights, surprisingly. It was cute and awkward, but not in a bad way. They actually shared a meal without yelling, fighting, screaming, and hair pulling.
Yes.
Or I guess they saved that for the bedroom. Hey-oh!
Oh, or running out.
Oh, so yeah, I am more for the trend of not a destructive dinner.
Yes, yeah. The auto-destruct dinners are awfully hurtful.
Yeah, so that was cool. I like
this dinner will self-destruct in 5 seconds.
I like the twist that Linda Park has a double that's an evil. She has an evil doppelganger from Earth 2. It totally made sense for her to want to kill Linda, take her life, and go give the other Linda. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So that's kind of smart. But I don't know. Linda Park is growing on me. I'm just like waiting on Wally West so she can fall in love with her own damn Flash. And I don't have to feel like there's like another love interest lurking for Barry. We already have 2.
Poor Barry. Poor Barry. He's going to be just so outnumbered.
He really is. And that's actually a great problem to have, honestly, as a comic book fan. You kind of want them. It's kind of like, I almost want Flash to kind of be like Gotham, where I just literally don't know what the hell they're going to do next. Because it's so different from the comic books. It keeps me alert and on my toes, and it makes my theory crafting harder, which I appreciate. So, you know, I just don't want them to be beholden to the idea, you know, that, hey, we kind of have to follow this. So if he falls in love with Patty, it makes perfect sense from a comic book standpoint because that happened at one time. And you do know what I mean? Like, don't
Yes.
feel the need to just do. I think Wes Allen is perfect as best friends. Like, this episode just highlighted that for me. I mean, this can be the slow burn of all slow burns. This could be longer than Lois Lane and Clark Kent over on Smallville. I don't care.
This
I
could
love them
be
together.
Bones.
They got together quicker than Lois Lane and Clark Kent on Smallville,
5
though.
seasons.
Yeah, that was quick. No, you're right. It's about one season.
Yep. See?
Yep. Now that I think about it, I was like, hold on, wait, Bones is yeah.
Yep, 5 seasons.
So yeah, I don't know. Like, this episode was really fun and quirky. I mean, literally, I looked at the clock and I'm like, what? It's over. What do you mean it's over?
Yes.
And how the hell are you just gonna end on that? Like, this Wells is the bad guy too? How dare you, Flash writers? I mean, can Tom Cavanaugh not play a good guy? I mean, I guess they must have been, hey, he got his fill as a good guy on Ed. Let's just make him a bad guy in all things, because I was watching the movie 400 Days, which has him, Brandon Roth, and Katie Lutz in it, and he's the bad guy in it. And I'm like, really?
He'll be the good guy on Earth 392.
Bizarro world, more like it.
Yeah, there you go.
But yeah, all in all, a really well put together episode. But it wasn't my favorite episode in the Arrowverse.
No. Yay.
So look forward to hearing about that on Queen Consolidated. Another happy review.
Dabbling.
Yes, exactly. So yeah, let's just get to the review. What was your who do you think was the character of the night?
For me, oh goodness, I gotta say the wonderfully duplicitous Dr. Wells.
It's good to have Tom Cavanaugh back, right?
That it is, and to never know what he's up to. I love it.
I love that Cisco nicknamed him Harry too, because it just reminded me of Dirty Harry the movies, right? With Clint Eastwood. And then he had the nerve to be listening to that freaking song by Linda Ronstadt. And I'm like, that's a little too on the nose.
You know, that was actually one of the soundtracks that I listened to, Linda Ronstadt's greatest hits in the early 80s. I have that whole soundtrack memorized. So
I love Flash when they just really, and then like just Wells and Cisco was just like, it was just such a different take on it. Do you know what I mean? Like, because I really enjoyed their interactions before he was revealed to be the bad guy in a meat suit. So yeah, this one was like different, and it still worked. You can still feel that spark between I just mean actor chemistry, nothing like romantic or sexual. Just like, some actors just really vibe together really well. Oh yeah, that should be my favorite scene actually. Is Cisco names himself that? Well, Barry names him.
Yes,
and it's only fair because, well, yeah.
Arrow named Barry.
Exactly.
Yes.
Now he can join the superhero fight club. I think my character of the night was tied between Cisco and Iris. Cisco brought the funny. He was the best wingman ever, right?
Yes, totally.
And just protective mama bear Iris about that life. I'm just like so proud of the writers for like correcting a problem. And I mean, it's not even an overcorrection. It doesn't feel as organic as it could, but I'm glad that they're not trying to like space it out like they tried to do and failed with Laurel.
Yes.
So hey, full steam ahead on that.
Thank you for getting Iris right.
Yes, exactly. Are there any favorite lines that you want to talk about?
Oh goodness. I'm behind a couple days. I didn't get to completely rewatch this one again, but I remember what was it? It was in the very beginning of the episode. Now I can't think what it was.
Oh.
I think they're getting coffee. Now I can't think. Doggone.
Brain fart.
Yes. Mental flash. Sorry.
That's okay. I think one of my favorite ones, we should have talked about this before I left, but how do I stop her?
Yeah, that was fun.
Of course, Cisco, I'm still here, creeping and peeping. Or no, peeping and creeping.
If you think you're
And then another Cisco one, because he just says what we all think. You know, our Dr. Wells may have been evil, but you're just a dick.
Yep, that's what I said. For one, Cisco says what we're all thinking.
You know what? I don't even care. I'm gonna do another one because this one comes from Barry. When he's like talking about why he didn't ask Patty out, he goes, "You know, I was gonna ask her out. Then the land shark tried to eat me, and then Dr. Wells, the sequel, showed up. So you know, my hands are kind of full, bro." Just great.
He is absolutely hilarious.
Absolutely. Are there any scenes you want to talk about?
Hold on, I'm grabbing my my notes here. Oh, I remember. Got another one for you. That color should thank you for wearing it.
Ooh, smooth, Barry, smooth.
Yeah. Hey, I'm trying to keep him from killing you. You're not helping.
Exactly.
Oh, and the conversation about how the different Earths work. I wish I would have had that. And Eobard and you know the whole Earth 1, Earth 2 conversation they had. I actually had that exact same conversation with a coworker the same day. And it just made me laugh because I'm like thinking, yeah, I think I just had this conversation.
It's bound to happen with a show like this. Everybody's trying to figure everything out. I think my favorite moment is Iris shooting Dr. Light like a boss. It's just great they got her into the action. I like that she's not just, you know, researching and being Barry's, you know, pep talk aficionado.
Mm-hmm. 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 Oh, one of my other thoughts is you were talking about Linda Ronstadt earlier. You know what I wish they would have played instead?
What?
Someone Like You by Adele.
That would have been perfect. Especially because Adele's hot right now with Hello.
Oh yeah. and Ms. Julep said, of course, Smooth Criminal, and I said, oh no, it's got to be Someone Like You.
You bitch. Well, they'll figure it out soon enough.
That's exactly right.
Oh shoot, I know there's something I'm forgetting to talk about. But I'm just gonna talk about the grade.
Okay.
I give it an A minus. The pacing was great.
Good.
The dialogue was phenomenal. The character of Iris rocked it. Y'all know I'm here for Candace and Iris and the West Allen, but it can be a slow burn. I'm loving how they're developing Patty. She's becoming a lot less like Felicity, so that's always good. Just hope Supergirl can follow suit. But you can hear about that on Channel 52. I can't help myself with these shameless plugs. I really apologize. So yeah.
That's because we have 52 creatures, you know.
Exactly. So yeah, that is my reason. I really enjoyed this episode, but lack of Joe and Barry. I know it can't all be Joe and Barry all the time, but damn it, I want it, and the heart wants what it wants.
Or Joe and Barry, or a phone call from Dad.
Like, do you even know? I would give my left pinky toe for that.
I think it's coming soon. I think we're gonna get something here soon.
I hope so. I think that John Wesley Shipp is a great auxiliary member of Team Flash and in the cast, and I just if he doesn't come back to the musical episode, fine.
Well, somebody's got to look out for Barry soon.
Yeah,
and we need more Tina McGee too. Please pass the Tina McGee.
Yes, I say Star Labs and Mercury Labs merge.
That would be awesome.
So what about your grade? Don't you try to weasel out of this.
Nope, I'm right there with you. Actually, I was gonna say B plus A minus. I was right in there with you. I really enjoyed it. Same thing. I wish that we'd had more patriarchal kind of influence in this a little bit, but the action, the dialogue, the character development, spot on.
Oh, I know what I
love
forgot,
the twist.
Kelly. Joe
What did
shoot
we
the
forget?
person asking no questions.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, we still have to deal with the whole idea of, we have our metahuman Gitmo,
Exactly.
Well, actually, we even got somebody now that doesn't have powers anymore.
Yep.
That's locked up in metahuman Gitmo.
And let's not forget, we
Eventually, that's
actually
going to
shipped
come around.
Captain Cold to the metahuman wing, even though the only thing special about him is his cold
Right.
gun. So it's getting weird on the Flash.
Right. Well, and the guy that burned himself out too.
Yep.
So, I mean, we've got a couple people in there that aren't even metas, that are in metahuman Gitmo, and eventually that's going to come back to bite them, I have a feeling.
And not to mention, now they're using Dr. Light as bait. And I'm like, who the hell is this Barry? I mean, first we kill the first two, 3 villains of the season, like no qualms about it.
Right.
And now we're using people as bait. We need a moral compass ASAP. Can we get Thea from Arrow over here at this point? Even though she's bloodlusty, she's still the moral center of the show.
Yes.
So
yes.
So yeah.
Well, that's why I think they need Papa Allen back.
I agree. Anything to get JWS back. Just
yes.
Other than cameo fodder.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yes.
I think they're gonna realize that because this is a lot of like, and I don't mean this in a bad way. It's very gimmicky with the Jay Garrick and the Wally West thing. Do you know what I mean? And so Star Labs is really crowded, and Team Flash is really crowded. But I think that that's gonna all resolve itself, and the herd will be thinned out, and they'll realize, hey, this is a really good character. A lot of good character development can come out of that. People have wanted it since day one. And I mean, he's free.
Yes.
So now we're free to explore it outside of, hands on the glass.
Yeah.
I just think they need time to come back around to it because, I mean, with Flash, they always jam pack so much into a season. And I mean, I love it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. But we need that time.
Absolutely. And I want to see freaking Henry and Joe too, Joe can help Henry readjust to life
hug it out.
And all that stuff.
I want to see him hug it out.
Yeah. And then Iris and Barry can have 2 dads. I'm just saying. I mean, they can live. They can all live together as a big happy family.
Actually, I do have the Joe and Henry and Barry, my 2 dads poster on my phone.
Of course you do, Kelly. So yeah, I'm not gonna keep you guys too much longer. Just absolutely phenomenal. I mean, the season got off to a slow, kind of irritating start for me because I just wanted Tom Cavanaugh back. But now that I've got him and he's still duplicitous as ever, I'm like, yes. And we're well on the path to the crossover. I'm really like the introduction of Hawkgirl, so I'm here for it. I'm curious to see how this crossover is gonna work.
Yes.
Because that's all we're buying time for. Let's be real.
Yeah, we are. We totally are.
So yeah.
But it's going to be interesting to see how it works.
Yep. So let's do some shameless plugs. I will put the Easter eggs on the Facebook from now on just because I'm lazy. And we need more Facebook clicks. So yeah, there you go.
There you go. So come see us on Facebook for all that funness.
Facebook.com/the Flashpoint podcast. So now for your shameless plugs and self-promotion, Kelly.
You can find me on Twitter, Tumblr, Instagram, and about anywhere else that matters at Super Squint. That's SUPERSQUINT. And you can also hear me on Before the Bat with Phil and Tyler. And of course on Queen Consolidated /Constantine with the lovely Miss Lilith.
You guys can find me on...
No petty dabblers.
Yes. You'll get that when we get to Queen Consolidated. So yeah, you guys can find me on Twitter at Lilith Hellfire. I'm on Tumblr. It's lilithhellfire.tumblr.com. If you want weekly DC comic book reviews, please be sure to check out World's Finest. I do it with Phil from Before the Bat and the Flash Arrow Power Hour because here at Southgate Media Group, we love to keep it in the family. You can also check out Channel 52 for all your DC comic books related news things. I host that with Charlie from the Flash Diaries podcast. And be sure to check out my website, lilith&rsquo.com, if you are looking for honest reviews about, well, everything. TV, movies, books, products. So it'll be next Tuesday before you know it.
And we'll be back in a flash.